Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Oh, what's that, Skip? You want a ToneX video? Because we haven't done one for about 15 seconds. Fucking righto. Let's go. How's it going, you pack of degenerates, and welcome back for the big one. The fight that's caused more dramas on the internet than pineapple on pizza, or whether it's a palmy or a palmer. ToneX versus a real amp. Can you tell the difference? That's right, you tube-loving hippies. Today we're going to throw up the little box of witchcraft against the other big hot glowing box that threatens to blow up every time you switch it on. And you legends, you're the ones who are going to do the blind test, and you're going to see if you can tell the difference between some ones and zeros and hot tube goodness. Spoiler alert, if you get it wrong, don't worry about it. So does every other fucking boomer in the comment section, and they've been arguing they can hear the difference since 1974. If you kind of like this hot mess of content, don't be a dickhead. Go down the bottom, hit that subscribe button. That'd be really, really cool. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs by Christmas, and like I said in the last video, the rate we're going in is fucking unlikely, but hey, we're going to give it a crack anyway. But before we get started, for all the digital converts that we've got in the room with us right now, why does this test even matter anyway? Because mainly every time a ToneX or a Kemper or a Helix or something like that gets mentioned in the comments, some bloke named Kev with aviators and Guns N' Roses banner in his garage jumps in and says,
"Digital amps will never sound the same as the real thing."
Meanwhile, this little box of witchcraft is over here just stealing the souls out of tube amps left, right, and fucking center. But the real point is, you actually need to spend stupid money on getting a tube amp to get decent tone anymore? Spoiler alert, no. Things like the ToneX, GP5, NAM modeling has come that far that even Eric Johnson would fucking struggle to figure out what is what. And he probably swears you can hear what brand of thongs you're wearing. Here's the competitors today. First up is the Marshall Origin 50 head. 50 watts of tube goodness, loud enough to scare children and annoy your neighbors. It's gone head to head with the IK Multimedia ToneX 1 using a Marshall Origin 50 head capture that I found on ToneNet, because for some reason every time I go and process a capture that I've done myself, my computer fucking shits itself, so I haven't been able to successfully capture anything yet. IK, get back to me with your fucking tech support, please. So what we're going to do is play the same riff on the same guitar twice, once with the Marshall and once with the ToneX. I'm going to scramble the order, and for every sample I either want you to remember it in that little fucking noggin of yours, or go down in the comments and write which one you think is amp or which one is a digital witchcraft box. The setup is going to be the exact same thing for both amps. No EQ, no compression, maybe just a bit of level matching if any of the clips are uneven in volume. All the pedals are running into the front end of the amp. I'm not adjusting any of the settings on the pedals. How they are is how they are for both. So it's all completely even across the board. Volumes are the same, gain levels are the same. So for the first test, we're using a Yamaha SA50, hollow body going into the front end of both the amps. I'm just gonna do straight clean, then I'm gonna kick in a Hall of Fame 2 for a bit of reverb, and here we go. So can you tell which one is which? Go and leave it in the comments. So for the next tone, we're just going to use a Mexican telly, again, straight into the front of the amps, this time using a Moscow B-Box. It's like a cloner for BB preamp. Just a bit of light, overdrive, rocky, crunchy sort of stuff, your typical pub gig sort of sound. Here we go. All right, that one was interesting and getting closer. So which one do you think is which? In the comments, like I said, let's do it again. Riff number 3, we are using the Telecaster again, this time going into a version 2 full tone OCD, a little bit of fun, but you tell me which one you think is the little box of magic or the tubes. Here we go. Which one was which? Comments, you know the drill. Let's do it. Moving on, riff 4, Gibson SG, drop D, just some random chunky palm muting garbage using the OCD again. Yeah, this one was kind of fun, so you tell me which one you think it is. Well, that one's getting interesting. Honestly, though, that tone slaps harder than your stepdad on Christmas after he's had a few rumbos, and it's pretty fucking hard. I've still got the scars to prove it. Nah, just jokes. Love you, mum. And then the last riff, we'll save the best for last. We're going to do some high gain tones, but I've just got an 8-string and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with it, so we're going to record some shit with it anyway. You tell me which one's the real amp, which one is the ToneX, and here we go. Told you I don't know what I'm doing with it, so I had to throw in some fucking boomer bends in the back end of it just for shits and gigs. So here's my 2 cents and my take on what I think. In the room, the clear winner is the tube amp all day of the week. There is nothing that is ever forever gonna replace 4 12-inch speakers behind you blowing air up your trousers. It's a different experience hearing an amp in a room than hearing an amp in headphones or studio monitors that is a model of a guitar amp with a microphone in front of it going through a studio preamp, and that is, you know, what we're hearing now. We're not actually hearing an emulation of an amp in a room. We're hearing an emulation of a complete signal chain. And that's something that people get confused from time to time, complaining that it doesn't sound like an amp in the room, because it isn't meant to. These little boxes that do all the captures emulate a whole signal chain. Recorded though, this one's interesting. There's the Puritan in me that enjoys using a tube amp to throw a microphone in front of it and record it because it's pure and it's organic and it's how God intended. There's another side of me that has a young family who can plug a ToneX in and get 99% of the way there in headphones at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't get divorced. And that's always fucking good because I don't want to live on the streets. So for ease of use and practicality, in the studio, ToneX all day of the week. For live use, I would still, because I don't really use in-ears, I would still rely on a tube amp. However, this thing is that small, you can shelve it and you won't even know it's there. So what I would do is queue up your main live guitar amp. If you're using it as a pedal platform like I am, I've just got the Origin 50 stored in here. Now, if I go to a gig and old Bertha behind me goes down, I can just throw this prick on the board, run all my pedals into it, and be back up and running with fucking no fuss. And it's just a no-brainer to have this on backup in your gig bag or in your a noose, like I said, shelve your pedals. I don't know. It's been a long day. But the big reveal and what everyone wants to know, which one was which. Let's see which ones you got right. So A, the clean tones. A was the amp and B was the ToneX. But they're all pretty much just slight variations in flavor of each other. There's not one that's any better or worse than the other. It's just a little bit different. If I spend a bit more time EQing the preset or changing the mic position on the actual amp, then the differences would be fuck all. Riff B, the little pub rock drive tone with a BB preamp. That was A, guitar amp, B, ToneX. This one was a lot closer. I don't know if it's the character of the drive that's sort of overtaking the character of the amp. I think the real amp had a bit more bottom end in it, but yeah, this one was really close. The next riff, a bit of power chords and a bit of solo action going on, again using the OCD and the Telecaster. I thought this one was really close. Again, just different flavors of the same thing, hard to give a clear winner, but A was the ToneX and B was the real amp. Did you get it right? Did ya? Be honest. You can be honest with me. Weirdly, this one again was really close, and it's a testament to this, because that little box behind me is about $1,500, where this is like $300, and it does a shit ton more than, you know, one tone. And the guitar amp was A, ToneX, B. But did you get it right in the comments? Let me know. And then finally, the old dickhead who's trying to play fucking 8-string riffs using a Rev G4 knockoff, one of the Joyo Dark Flame things. A, ToneX, B, Marshall amp. I think they both sounded shit. But that's more to do with my own playing. If I had to pick one that I think sounded better than the other ones, I think the amp sounded better. It sounded like punchier than the ToneX did, but not by much. Again, for what it is, if you're recording, you could throw some EQ and compression on there and get it home. Play around with some of that stuff, you could probably get closer. But yeah, for the 8-string riffs, I think the Marshall wins, but not by a hell of a lot. So surprisingly, or not so surprisingly, this thing came out really fucking strong. Shouldn't really surprise anyone. It's a box of witchcraft. It sends digital bloops into your shit, and it steals all the tube amp souls and stores it in here in purgatory forevermore. And it is wicked. I absolutely love this thing. I'm not sponsored by IK, not affiliated. You can see the size of my channel. I'm basically a nobody. I just really stand behind this product. For an option that's practical and it's not going to explode, ToneX. For recording, this thing does it all. For live gigs, this thing does well, but it's only limited to, you know, 2 amps on the foot switch unless you expand it with MIDI, which you can do these days. But, you know, for ease of use, without in-ears, I think the amps are still going to hold up. But this is an amazing, affordable little backup guitar amp that you can stick into your gig bag. And for bedroom players, this, you can run your headphones on the output of it as well. Acts as an audio interface. Does it all. Love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, that's enough waffling out of me. Don't be a dickhead. Go down and hit that fucking subscribe button. sub up to this channel, get us to 1,000 subs before Christmas. Let us know in the comments what your favorite ToneX captures are. Let us know how you went choosing which one was which. And as always, no cork sniffing bullshit up in here. Have a good one. Take it easy. See you guys later.